Hey everybody, welcome to Garage Tune TV. I'm Phil here with my buddy and co-host Kendall, and we're going to be starting the 510 today.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to drain some of the fluids. We're going to remove most of the accessories in preparation to pull the engine for a rebuild.
Cool. Alright guys, let's get going. Alright.
Actually, that didn't sound too bad.
Nope, that didn't sound too awkward or ridiculously unnatural. Kendall here is currently opening up the radiator drain plug, and we're pretty curious as to see what color the coolant is, as I'm fairly certain it hasn't been changed since the car was new in 1972.
Ready?
I am.
Second.
Oh. Huh.
It's
greenish.
It's got a tint.
It's definitely got a color of sorts.
Okay.
Can you grab that shot light there? Just throw it down below. See this miracle? Huh. Yeah, it's definitely green. Greener than I thought it'd be. Alright. Kind of expecting like a brownish turd color, but that works. Alright guys, here's the end of day one. We managed to get the majority of the unnecessary parts off the motor, or at least the parts we have to take off before we can pull it out. Get the carb off, took off the radiator, drain that out. We got the engine mounts ready to come off, or at least the bolts holding the motor in place. Batteries out, starter, all the lines are disconnected from the starter. So really all we've got to do during our next session is take the speedo cable, speed sensing gear, tacho gear, whatever it is, out of the tranny, figure out a way to disconnect the clutch. I'm going to sawzall the exhaust off, and then we're ready to pull the motor and tranny out. Kendall and I, you probably all see that we marked a lot of random spots in the engine bay in black or white spray paint, and these are all the holes that don't necessarily need to be here, that after the motor's out we will sand down and weld shut, then grind smooth again, before we end up taking the chassis out to my buddy's body shop, where he will put it on the chassis straightener. As you see, there's kind of dents and dimples in there, the ripples on the top of the strut tower brace there. There's an awful lot of primer here on the walls, difficult to see in the lighting. And then in back there you can see it's just beat to crap. It looks like it was in some sort of front end accident. And it's not awful. Comparing the sides here, you can see on this fender we've got about a 1/4 inch of clearance there. On this fender over here we're at about a 1/2 inch. So it's not terrible. I don't think it'll be that big of a job to get it repaired, but I am looking forward to getting all these little holes welded up, and then we can start stripping paint and get ready to paint the engine bay, which I'm pretty pumped for. Here's our list of parts we've got left over after tonight's adventure. Not a ton, but a lot of stuff that's in pretty decent condition that I'll be able to sell. That carburetor can go. The battery I might reuse. I'll probably get something lighter. The radiator's garbage. Tons of just miscellaneous hoses that are more metal than rubber nowadays. And after we filmed the coolant draining out from one side of the radiator, we ended up draining it out from the other side. And as you can see here, it's this lovely chunky rust goo, which leads me to believe that it wasn't actually flowing all the way through the radiator, which kind of goes along with what I saw when I was driving the car home. I'll tell that story in a voiceover here, for sure. I have no idea what they are, but I love them. I have two of these, both on the fronts. And then I've got two 15s that look similar, but I don't believe are, on the rears. If any of you guys know what these are, please let me know. The 13s I absolutely love, and the 15s look pretty decent. I know some of these mesh wheels are worth quite a bit, so if I could trade a couple of the 15s for some 13s, or sell them and make up some money to actually have the wheels that are going on this car refinished. I gotta have them rebarreled and set up for the appropriate offset and everything. Let me know, 'cause that'd be cool. Rolling the bars, got to roll.